name is Brett Hassard. I'm the Director of Admissions at the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown. I am alum of the institution. I've recently just been back. I started back working at the institution this past March, so it's been nice to get back. A little different, my timing when I started. I think I had about 4 days on campus before we then went remote for the remainder of the spring and summer. But I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to share information about the Pitt-Johnstown experience, to you and your fellow students. And ultimately, we'll be here to assist students, as they if they have an interest in attending Pitt-Johnstown, or just in general any assistance we can provide, to help with the college search process. I'll be happy to do so. Now, I guess just to give you a little background in regards to who we are. First and foremost, we are a university, a part of the University of Pittsburgh system. So one nice thing is that what students are receiving is an education from the University of Pittsburgh. We're just at a different campus, but we are the first and largest regional institution, of the University of Pittsburgh. And what's nice about that is that, again, it's just providing you some opportunity and choices in regards to what type of college you would like to attend. So for some students, they may not be ready or interested in maybe a large institution, in an urban metropolitan setting. So what's nice is that hey, with the Johnstown campus and some of our other regional campuses, you have some different choices where you could choose to study somewhere that's smaller. Especially if you have an interest in having a more direct, connection, with faculty. But, overall, we're more of a smaller institution. We're looking at about 3,000 undergraduate students. So, individual student to faculty ratio is pretty small. It's about 20 to 1. Typical class size is going to be about 25 people, per class. So definitely students receive that one-on-one interaction, with faculty, which is great, for in this case, programs like chemistry, where you have opportunities working with faculty on undergraduate research. You're definitely going to get that one-on-one interaction. In essence, you sort of be a name, versus a number, at Pitt-Johnstown. But again, as I mentioned, like I said, we are affiliated, part of the University of Pittsburgh system. We consist of 7 different academic divisions. And within those academic divisions, consist our over 70 different majors, that we have to offer. And our different divisions are, we offer business and enterprise, education, engineering and computer science, natural sciences, nursing, then also social sciences as well. Some programs that we do hold some recognition for, in this case would be, engineering. We're very proud. We recently received the ABET accreditation for all of our engineering programs. So, at the Johnstown campus, students can pursue computer, chemical, civil, mechanical, or electrical engineering. Along with that, we recently renovated our engineering and science building, but then also built a chemical engineering building that really provides just state-of-the-art technology and resources for our students. Just in this case, for instruction, but then also, for them when they're completing research or working on labs. In essence, it's sort of like their home away from home, from the academic standpoint. Also, too, nursing, is a program that we do have some interest in. And again, this is the same program that students would complete, on the Pittsburgh campus. But, again, like I said, it's on our Johnstown campus. And again, it provides, students who may be interested in a little bit smaller, type setting. But our nursing grads has been very successful, in passing the NCLEX examination. From year to year, we're usually looking at a high pass rate, in the high 90s. 96, 97% of those students, passing on their first try. And again, like I said, they do a good job. We're in this case where, faculty have that chance to work one-on-one with students, showing them appropriate techniques. And then also with nursing, we have our nursing and health science building that, has state-of-the-art simulation labs, for our nursing students to help prepare, for their potential future profession. Some additional programs I would say we have traditionally, have strong enrollments in would also be our pre-medical professions program. Again, most students, with students interested in going on to whether it be med school, pharmacy school, or PA, PT, we place them in what we call a pre-medical profession. And more than likely, they're probably going to major in biology, chemistry, or biochemistry. But really, you can major in anything. But like I said, we do a good job, in this case where students, have academic advisor, then a committee, advisors that are going to help them, in this case to make sure that they're preparing and completing the appropriate courses they need for that particular graduate program, and really getting them ready, from that standpoint of completing that graduate application, completing the appropriate graduate entrance exam that students need, and then also, graduate essays. And then also education, we offer early, middle childhood, then also special, so the special education certification, also secondary education. And then just one other unique one I would throw out there would be our information systems program, which is housed within our business and enterprise division, but definitely a very modern program. In this case, when you're looking at jobs in demand, with this program, students can pursue a health science information systems concentration, geographic information systems concentration, or more recently that was added a cybersecurity. And I think as we've been living in this virtual world, we've been seeing the need, for security analysts, in this virtual setting. So students can receive a great preparation, from that. Any questions for me at this time at all, Paige?
Oh, I do. What are some of your more popular majors?
Okay. Well, again, like I said, I think some of probably the three most popular would be engineering, nursing, and then the pre-medical professions. Those would be some of our more popular ones. But again, like I said, with us, the type of institution we are, we still are a liberal arts institution, at our core. So students can choose, majors, and in this case, if students come in undecided, it's not going to be a hindrance, and the students can still graduate within 4 years. And again, like I said, a lot of that I think stems from us being that small school liberal arts institution where, in this case, if you're unsure what you would like to do, it's not a problem. If you do have an interest in maybe computer science, what the first thing we're going to do is get you taking maybe some of those entry level math courses that you need, just so that way we can, transition you at a particular time. But yeah, like I said, even if students come in undecided, not a problem. They're still able to graduate within 4 years.
Another question I have is, how do you guys assist in freshmen acclimating to like college life and stuff?
That's a big question, and something that we take very strongly, because we realize, hey, that first semester plays such a big part in the students and their success, in completing college. And we want to make sure that we're helping students, make that transition successfully. So really, I would say it actually even starts back, in the college search process. We try early in the process, making sure we're identifying students who we feel are going to be a good fit for us. And as we progress and go through the process, starting with whether it's our, admitted student events, we definitely want to get you in front and meeting with faculty so you understand, expectations of the classroom, what to expect. That's going to lead into what we call our academic planning days, where this is where you receive your course schedule. We're going to ensure that you're completing the placement exams so that we can make sure we're placing in the appropriate classes that you need that first semester so you can be a success. And some of that then ultimately culminates, then with our fall orientation, where, again, we're going to have students come up to campus a little bit early before the semester starts, where they're the only ones on campus and, working with our orientation leaders. But from the start, we're definitely going to make sure the students understand, that the change in the academic rigor, what now to expect, resources available to them, whether it's they need assistance and where to go to sort of seek out, peer tutoring, or in this case, a lot of our entry level courses will have a weekly tutoring session where we'll hire upperclassmen students in maybe biology, mathematics, English, who will sit in these first year courses, and then they'll host a weekly studying session. So, as needed, if students, just have one question, they can stop by, or if they need something a little bit more in depth, they can stop by, weekly. But again, that'll be one of the first things we definitely want to make sure students are able and capable to handle, the change in the academic rigor. And then two, moving on outside of the classroom, we do a good job as far as ensuring our students, have a good sense of knowledge of the campus community. So, it starts with our students who are residing on campus, with their residence life staff, getting them out of the classroom, or getting them out of their dormitories. For a lot of students, this is the first time that they're probably sharing a room with someone. I'll put you on the spot here, Paige. Do you share a room with a sister or anything?
I do. I share a room with my sister. We've had a bunk bed since I believe I was like early elementary school.
Okay, well, I'll tell you this, you're ahead of the game, in today's day and age, when I'm talking with a lot of prospective students, this is the first time, and a lot of times it's a big concern that they have, they're living with someone for the first time, or in this case, sharing a room for the first time in their life. But like I said, our residents, they do a good job in regards to, programming within the dormitory, getting them involved, having things going on, to really promote, that campus life and campus engagement. And then also too, with our programming board, they handle a lot of our on-campus activities. And again, we would just want to make sure students, are out and about and active. And then lastly, the third, thing I would say that we do a good job in regards to that first year experience is really connecting them with the community, that we reside in. Our current campus is about 7 miles away from the city of Johnstown, the downtown area. But every year, as part of a first year, student project, all of our new students, will go down to the downtown area and do some community service, and that creates an opportunity where students are able to have that shared experience, with their fellow students, but then identify where we came from, our roots, when we were initially at that asphalt campus. So those are sort of the three things that we're really going to try to do, in that first year, is really make sure students are prepared, for the academic rigor, have a sense of the campus community, and where we came, as far as an institution.
What kind of SAT or ACT scores are needed to get into Pitt-Johnstown?
That's a good question, and I think what you'll find for a lot of institutions, including ourselves, standardized exams are one part, of the application process. Ultimately, we want to make sure students are a good fit, and we try to provide a holistic, review and looking at all factors. But again, how we look at standardized exam, may differ based upon the student's major of interest. For example, if a student is interested in computer science, we're probably going to take a stronger look at that math section, since that's going to really ensure that they have the foundation needed, for that program of study. Students interested in maybe nursing, we want to take a strong look at the scores, just because there's going to be correlation on how they may complete what's called the NCLEX examination, their board exam, that's going to license them for that particular profession. But for this year, we are test optional, so students are not required to submit a standardized exam. And my philosophy for this is, if students, have completed the standardized exam, and if you do feel it's a good representation of your academic performance and your potential success in college, I do encourage you to submit it. But at the same time, with especially with this year, with test center sites, not being able to facilitate exams, or not being able to maybe have SAT preps, we realize it's not the traditional year. So we also are test optional, where we're going to take a strong look at the students transcript, and we also encourage students to submit other information that reflects their commitment to their school community and to their success in the classroom. So letters of recommendation, activities lists, or essays are also welcome.
Speaking of essays, do you guys have any scholarship opportunities?
We do, and how the scholarship process works with us is that your application for admission serves as your application for scholarship consideration. Scholarships are going to be based on students' GPA and standardized exam score. And like I said, again, for this year, we kind of have two different students who are test optional. We have a paradigm for that where we're strictly looking at students' transcript, GPA, courses that they completed, what track were they on in high school, were they taking a advanced or rigorous curriculum. And then we also have our traditional model, which is looking just at the combination of students' GPA and SAT. But what you'll find, as you're looking at schools, that's one piece of the financial aid component. After students are admitted, we're able to determine that academic scholarship amount. But when students apply for financial aid, what you'll find with the Pitt system is there's going to be other resources of institutional aid that we may be able to award. Students who qualify for the federal Pell Grant can expect to receive a matching dollar-for-dollar grant, from the University of Pittsburgh system. We also have some different endowed scholarships, based on major and region students come from. So ultimately, again, like I said, the academic scholarship is the first component, but there's a lot of sources of aid. And, ultimately, when the student receives their financial aid award, that's where they can really see what the true out-of-pocket cost will be to attend Pitt-Johnstown.
Well, speaking of costs, how much is your university? Talking total meaning dorm, food plan, tuition, etc.
Now, our tuition structure is a little different. Based upon your major, there could be a little bit different tuition charge. With engineering and nursing, those programs cost a little bit more just due to labs and fees incorporated with that. But on average, I would say for a student who's also looking to stay on campus, I could say what you would look at a typical cost being about $25,000 to $26,000 per year, and that would include tuition, then also your room and board, dormitory, then also meal plan fees.
You were saying how your engineering program, did you say that it did or did not have an ABET?
It has, yes. We received the ABET accreditation this year, and it's kind of unique with ABET. You actually have to have a graduating class before they actually issue the accreditation. So that's what just our most recent graduating class was, the class, our first class that we enrolled. And I don't want to say it was an easy process, but it just, it's not. But I would at least say our program and Dr. Samples, our chairperson, they were able to go through the process, provide the information needed, and it seemed to be a seamless process for them to get that. Like I said, but what we're excited, that definitely just ensures, that our students have that gold stamp seal of approval. This just ensures students, receiving the industry standards, for instruction, laboratory space to be received, or laboratory space that's on campus, research opportunities, and again, just ensuring that students are receiving the instruction that they need to perform the job, in today's modern day and age.
Well, speaking of jobs, what is the percentage of students that would land a job right out of college?
Now, what we do, we also group in graduate school placement into this. We haven't received the most recent years. We're still collecting and crunching that data, but historically, looking over the last 3 years, it's generally been, again, in the mid to high 90s. You're looking at 94 to 95% placement rate, for students receiving employment or attending graduate school within 6 months of graduation.
Wow, that is great. What is your diversity initiative?
Okay. I guess when we look at diversity, we kind of look at two factors. We also look at, the individual, ethnicity, gender, but then also geographic. If we look at just the traditional ethnicity aspect, about 14% of our students, are minorities. And again, what we look at, on campus, again, it starts with with student life, our resident assistants go through as part of their training, diversity training, additional things we are looking at doing within our programming board is being more inclusive with the types of activities, that we offer. Geographically, yeah, we're going to enroll students, from all over the state of Pennsylvania. But we also have, 21 states represented, and that, mainly includes what we consider those contiguous states, so like Ohio, New York, Maryland, New Jersey. But again, we have students, coming from, southeast part of the United States, Midwest, and also West. And again, we like to look at everyone is bringing something a little bit different that's contributing, to our community.
What would drive students to Pitt-Johnstown?
Oh, that's a good question. I think the students who find us and also who are successful, it is because they want that experience where, and I guess this will sound, cliche, but they're looking for very distinctive programs, educational programs, but they also want the mixture of receiving, that personal touch. So I think when students, and unfortunately, like due to the current conditions, we haven't been able to have as many students on campus as we like. But I think when students come to campus and, they see, they see the resources available to them and the education that students are receiving, that when mixed in with seeing the people that they're going to be learning from, it makes for a great equation where students are going to be successful, where they see that, hey, my faculty, there's a lot of things that they could be doing to progress themselves within their field of study, but they don't do that. The research that they do is for me. It's to help prepare me, for that future career that I want to receive, or for that future graduate school that I'm looking at going to. So really receiving that, again, like I said, I think that personal attention from faculty and really having the hands-on experiences, really, sets us apart, from other institutions.
I think I have one last question. What would you say is unique about your school?
Okay. Well, there's one thing that's unique about our school. Paige, you put me on the spot here. I would say again, I think that this isn't going to be too unique, but again, getting back to the size of the school, about it for a lot of students it is something that's a little bit different than what they experience in high school, where we are looking at bringing in, around 700 new students a year, with another 100 transfer students. So for a lot of students, that's much larger than their graduating class. But again, they're not sacrificing that personal attention. Your individual class sizes are going to be small. And, also too, when I take a look at living on campus, the different experiences we provide students where, they can have their traditional, dormitory, to also having maybe experiencing, more individualized learning experience with our, CPA, College Park Apartments, or our Living Learning Center, which are, more similar to like apartment type complex. Or to, hey, they potentially may want to live with a group, maybe whether it's a, particular academic club or Greek life organization or athletic team, house, within our lodges or townhouses on campus as well. So yeah, definitely the size and definitely, living experience opportunities, definitely provide students, with some unique opportunities for that.
Well, you were talking earlier about the community service, and I would say that's pretty unique as well.
It is, and actually, now that you got my wheels really spinning, one other unique program, from the academic side of things, and actually this is available to all of our students, is what we call like our Pitch Fest, where you may be familiar with the training. Our approach to this, again, with our business and enterprise, we definitely provide students opportunity who have an interest in entrepreneurship to grow that. There's a upper class course that students can take, where students will develop a product, learn how to market that product, learn how to ultimately pitch that product. So it's a semester-long course that culminates with what we call like our Pitch Fest, where we have some regional industry leaders come in that serve as our panel, and we'll have current students that present their potential product to receive funding for it. The nice thing about it is the grand prize winner will receive funding to continue on with the development of that product, and also too, it gives our local business leaders ability to sort of network and look at future talent that or with our graduates who will soon be graduating, saying that those students here looking at maybe potentially hiring them to help grow those products or to have them contribute to their local businesses. But it's definitely interesting project there, like I said, our Pitch Fest, that something that stands out for our students. And again, although it's housed within our business and enterprise division, all students are able to participate who take the course.
Cool. That is unique. Haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, thank you. I'm actually looking forward to this year to sort of seeing the actual presentation in the springtime when they do the Pitch Fest. But yeah, it's definitely something that's been very interesting to see these last couple years.
Anyway, thank you for your time.
All right, no problem. Thank you, Paige.
This was very informative, even though I was the one supposed to.
And hopefully, maybe I'll see you in person next fall.
Yeah, this was very informative, even though I was the one supposed to be asking the questions.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
All right.